Hi guys, and welcome back to our tutorial series. I guess we're gonna start. We started last week at least. I think we're gonna continue with kind of doing a whole range of plugins and scripts from Grand Theft Auto 5 modding community. I've been in it for like 2-3 years now, and I've been a fan of it. So not necessarily doing the latest, greatest, or updated, but we are going to cover a lot of the ones that I use frequently, things that I enjoy playing single player. So without further ado, we are going to tackle the Rollback Flatbed Script. This version is 1.5. It's your latest version from January 5th, 2020. It is from I'm Not Mental. And as always, check out the descriptions, read everything. You're going to see your dependencies here. You have your ScriptHookV, your community ScriptHookV.net, and obviously you're going to need scripted flatbeds, which I selected 2 of them for specific reasons. The cat one, this one I don't think it works anymore. Yeah, I don't think that one works anymore. I mean, someone might have a copy of it somewhere, but it got taken down, so that one doesn't work anymore. So it's pretty basic, honestly. Like, it's not that labor intensive. You just kind of have to know where you're gonna go. And if you've dabbled with DLC packs, which that's what we're gonna do in this one, we're gonna do as add-ons. So if you've done that before, whether it's for your EUP, or if you're adding an MLO, or any other types of vehicles that were add-ons, this shouldn't be too difficult to add some of these vehicles, and it creates more of an immersive environment as opposed to using the tow truck with the hook. You now will have a working flatbed, and we'll do like a little sample at the end of this video, as well as a longer version if people want to see that. But anyways, we're going to download this one and put it, I have my little desktop folder, but you can put it wherever you want to copy your zip files to, your archives, where you unpack them. I personally, like what we ran into last week with ScriptHookV, the website was down, and who knows how long it was going to take for it to come back up. Thankfully, this week it's back up and running. But that's also kind of another thing that I do, is I retain all the zip files and versions, because you don't know what's gonna not work later on, so or not be found as we ran into last week with ScriptHookV. So I will still put my file bin file just for posterity, but I will also give the AB software link as well to the actual files, because it looks like it's working again, so hopefully this will be relevant in the future as well. But once you download your flatbed script, you're gonna get all of this, and it's mostly just drag and drop into your scripts folder. Just drag these and drop them into your scripts folder, and I will give you kind of the more common folders for Grand Theft Auto 5 on PC, whether you got Epic, Steam, or Rockstar. Now again, it could vary. I have mine on an external drive, so obviously these are just generalizing with your C drive if you're just putting it straight on your single hard drive. But I mean, if you have your area like I do with selected drive for my own things, then feel free to put it in that stuff, especially if you're as organized as I am with doing these things. So with this, what you really have to pay attention to is the flatbed vehicles file. This is where, and it'll make more sense once we grab some vehicles, this is where you would drag and drop into your scripts to make those flatbeds actually be functional with this. And then again, if you want to be nosy, you could look at your config file. This basically tells you your buttons. It's going to be, for a controller, it's going to be right bumper. Down to lower the flatbed, it's going to be right bumper up to raise your flatbed. Then it's going to be left control on the keyboard to lower, and right shift to raise. Now once you have it down, you'll see the green targeting system, which we have enabled here. And on the controller, it's A to attach it to the winch, or on your keyboard, it's X. So not super complicating. So we'll get into that shortly. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna download the Peterbilt, which we have the link here, and all the links will be in the description. Make it easier for you guys to download. And at Peterbilt, we're gonna be an add-on script. So we'll show you how to add the DLC pack if you don't already know how to, as well as the flatbed script. So again, just read through the information, see if there's any pertinent information that you need to know before downloading. This is by these nutties 123 and Lazy Low 555 and I'm Not Mental. I'm assuming I'm Not Mental helped with the scripting of the flatbed part. So here again, as normal, and if you have any issues outside of this, it might be because of one of these guys might need to be updated. We are not going to do installs for these, but you can probably find a Google. For the most part, you'll have other programs and applications on your computer that have probably already had these as a prerequisite and have installed them. Windows and Microsoft loves to add these things, piggyback them on top of stuff. Some games as well, you'll load a lot of things similar to these in the background, especially Steam. Like the first time you launch it, it'll load all these dependencies. So anyways, we're still going to be needing the ScriptHookV community script hook. We're going to just touch on that a lot quicker than we did last week. It's a pretty easy drag and drop. So here you're going to download it. Again, download it to your wherever you're going to save your files. And then you're going to get this, which you've already unpacked it. Again, I always create a link just so quick reference. And then here's a flatbed script. And if in case you didn't have that already, you can go back to where we were originally. But these are basically your information. So this is your scripts cookie trail. All right, so you're gonna go scripts, flatbed, vehicles. That folder should already be there because we just dragged and dropped it from your flatbed rollback script. And then this is the file, the XML file that you're gonna now put into that vehicles folder. And then here, you're gonna see the cookie trail or not. I guess they're not gonna do a cookie trail, but this is where you put your DLC. And then the README should show you how to install the DLC list. And it gives you the addresses on, there you go, basically put this guy in, and we'll show you how to do that shortly. So that one basically downloaded. Now we'll go to the MTL Flatbed. And just same as last one. You could check out the photos. Always important to read the description. This is made by I'm Not Mental, Yoha, SXY, and the Fenton. And it also gives you install information. We are not going to do the replace. We're going to do the install. And again, same dependencies as last time. So it's pretty simple. So you click here, download. We're going to do the 5.02 version, the newer version from 2020. And then you're gonna have the folder, basically unzip it. And here, README, always good to check it out. I'm sure it's gonna have your DLC list information that we just saw. Here's your item tag that you drop in your DLC list. We'll get to there. Add-on is going to be your two folders, your scripts folder, your flatbed, vehicles, and then here's your flatbed 3, not to be confused with 337 flatbed from the other one. They both ironically have a 3 and flatbed in it, but when you see them together, it's easier to remember. So here's this one has a cookie trail. So you could update 64 DLC packs, and then you just drag and drop this because they'll have your DLC RPF file that contains all your car variations, your vehicles, your handling meta files, as well as your 3D model and textures and whatnot. Basically, it's just like a little pack. And then back to this. And then we're gonna go and do the ScriptHookV again. Again, we're not gonna get as extensive as we were before. We're going to, oh, that's nice, Franklin. Just again, look through the description. We're gonna download the same version that we had before, which is 1.0.2845. It's gonna take you now to here. Reload it because we already had it in the background. You're gonna download. You're gonna put it to hopefully the similar folder that you've been downloading everything else in. This is on my desktop for tutorial purposes. You're gonna get this. You're gonna look in here. Here's my file bin link. Again, I'm gonna supply that in the description. So readmes are always good, but this is a little more little heavier on the context. I don't think you really need to do a whole lot. There's no INI file or anything you can customize, but your essentials are your dinput.a DLL and your ScriptHookV DLL. These both go into your GTAV main directory. We'll get to there shortly. And then now we do your ScriptHookV, which is going to take you to here. And then you click that, it's going to take you to the GitHub. And you go all the way to the bottom where it says releases, downloads, and then pre-built binaries can be found on this releases page. You go here, scroll down. First, you make sure that 3.60 is your latest version. It's from December. And then you download the zip. Pretty simple. And this is what you get. Alright, we got 3.6.0. Again, if they don't list the version number, because I retain a lot of different versions of scripts and plugins and mods, that I like to put the version number just so I know what I'm referencing, in case something maybe gets a little funky. I know maybe, oh, let me try the old one. Let's see if the old one works. So that's why I kind of keep multiple versions. And again, in case websites and stuff go down, you have multiple versions of stuff in case something becomes a little more relevant later on. But here, your essentials are going to be your ASI, your DLL 2, and your 3 of the .NET 3. Again, you could pretty much just drag and drop them all. It's not really going to cause any harm. It's not, they're very minuscule in size, so it's not like that's going to be a really big deal. I usually just copy them all, but if you just wanted to be very particular, ASI, DLL, TLL, basically selecting those individually by holding left control and then left clicking. You can also do the reverse effect by now highlighting it all, holding left control, and now you could just undo. But sometimes it's easier if you just don't know where you're getting. It's easier to do that, and you can drag and drop. Now we are going to open our Grand Theft Auto folder. We're gonna snap this to the right, snap this to the left. And we are not actually going to drag and drop. We're going to show you how. already have them installed. I'll show you where they're at. So here, you're gonna grab this. If you don't already have a scripts folder, it's really easy. Just right click, add new folder. Lowercase scripts is what you're gonna do. I don't know if it acts wonky if you put any sort of capitalization or whatnot, any extra characters. Never tried, don't really want to. It works like this, so. And then normally we just drag and drop here, but as you can already see, we have it existing. So you have these, then you have your metas down here. So these are already been here. This is your flatbeds. This is your config file that we looked at earlier. And then here's your two. Of course, I have more than one, but these are the two that you're installing off of this tutorial. So that's where those scripts go. Like if you go back, and here, your Peterbilt scripts. That's what this is referencing. That. And the other one, same deal. Boom. Basically doing that. So while we're here in this, we'll actually stay here because we're gonna do the script hooks real quick, and then we'll hop into OpenIV to do the DLCs. So ScriptHookV, basically, and again I'll show you the files. We're not going to drag and drop, already have them. But basically, you do your left control, and then you select the individual files that you want. You can grab native trainer. I have other trainers that I use. Again, like I said last time, I occasionally off and on switch from just trainer V and menu. Just really depends how I feel. But I don't use native trainer, so I don't drag it here. Basically, you're gonna have your the input, and then your script hook gonna be right here. Basically, those two files. When you drag and drop, if you already have an older version, you can ask you if you want to replace it. Probably gonna want to, especially if you're using a lot of newer scripts. So we have that installed, and then ScriptHookVDotNET, your community script hook, pretty much same thing like we were talking about earlier. You select the first one, hold left control, ASI, and then both DLLs. And as you can see, they're here. But again, I drag and drop them all. So not that big of a deal. And eventually, once you start using it, it'll create a log file as well. So not that big of a deal. Again, as you can see, mine already are there. I am on Steam, so it's my Steam cookie trails there. Now we're gonna go back to the Peterbilt. We're gonna open up OpenIV. And one thing I didn't mention in the last video, but I think it's probably a good habit to have, especially areas that you're gonna frequent a lot, like the DLCs, is create a favorites. So I have a DLC packs here, and it jumps straight into the folder. But if you want to get kind of like how we go here, we'll do step by step. So you go to your mods folder, essential, you gotta put it in your mods folder. You don't want to put it on your native GTA 5 folder. So you want to be in your mods folder, and you go update 64, wrong thing, 64 DLC packs, and then here you're gonna see your 337 flatbed. That's essentially what we get from here. That's what this folder is. Basically just did that. I already have it, but we'll be nosy. We'll peek in here just so you can see what everything gets dropped in. So you're gonna have your high and low 3D models, and you're gonna have your textures here. You have all your texture files, and this is where you can reskin if you wanted to. You want to put your own trucking company, you can do it there. So now we're gonna do the other one. Flatbed here. It's gonna be what, flatbed 3, I think. What it's called. Wrong one. Flatbed 3. Right here, and then you just drag and drop. CRPF. Be nosy again. There's no mods for this one, so the folder's just there. But again, you get your high and lows, your 3D model, and your textures. This one has a lot more signs, so if you have a trainer to call the vehicle, you might have some options here to change your texture on the outside. And we'll go to mods folders. There's nothing there. Data, I think it's like languages. Yeah, languages. And then you go to your common, you can see all your vehicle stuff. You can see your vehicles meta, your handling meta, your car variations, a lot of stuff that you normally wouldn't have to deal with, but it's good to see it here. I like them packed in the DLC as opposed to messing with your main vehicles, and handling can get a little icky. That's why I like doing add-ons if possible, instead of doing replacing, unless you're replacing a very similar vehicle. So here we're gonna do the DLC list. So as you can see, I created a favorites folder, but we'll go there. Just a restart. So we're gonna go. It's update common data. Update common data. And here, and we'll look for DLC list. So you're gonna right click. You can't highlight it, but right click, edit. And these are all my DLCs. Yours is probably not gonna be as this long. I mean, for the most part, a lot of these early ones will be, because this is main GTA 5 DLCs. But when you start kind of approaching, like back here, this is my add-ons. So you're gonna see both of those flatbed scripts right here. This is basically what you're calling the DLC packs. I say scripts, but it's your flatbed. What's calling the DLC pack that we just dropped. This is information that you would find in your README file. So that is the information that you would see right here. Let's say packed it well. I'm gonna tell you how to get there. This one might not be as thorough because it doesn't really kind of give you a cookie trail, but I think this does. Yes, this does. Well, it shows you the DLC pack, so it doesn't actually show you where to put your DLC list, but some of them do. And if you're following this tutorial, now you know how to get here. So you copy paste those, or you can always just copy one of these and then just go over one copy here. Like we'll copy this, and then you put 337 flatbed, pretending like we didn't already have it, but we already do, so we're gonna delete it. And then once you get those two in, or any other vehicle that you've added, then you click save, and you should be good. So on this side of things, I think we are done. I think we've covered everything to get all of this running. It's a little intensive in the beginning, but it's really easy. If you've dabbled in installing scripts and any sort of mods that like vehicles or textures or something, DLC pack, really simple. You've already done this before. So now we are going to go in game, and we're going to show you how it's done. Anyways, oh, almost hit a stop sign. We're gonna test out the Flatbed 3 first.
What the hell was that?
Your mom Anyway, of course, everything has to spawn right here. So cars, you got a bus behind me, you got peds walking here. I'm just trying to do a 3-point turn in a flatbed. Anyways, we're gonna get this guy because he's parked in the no parking zone. Very lucky that we were just down the street and I kind of caught my eye. So we're gonna use the rollback. Currently we're using with the keyboard. It's gonna be left control to roll back, and to roll forward it's gonna be right shift. Then when you get out, you see the marker. It's gonna be X on keyboard. Now, with the gamepad, to roll back, it's gonna be right bumper RB and down on your D-pad. To bring the flatbed up, which we're gonna have to do, is right bumper RB and up on the D-pad. And then the marker is gonna be A on your gamepad, and that'll attach the winch. So we're slightly off, almost pro status that, but it was close. It just did, I mean, it was close enough to do it. It just, the hit target was off. So we'll attach the winch here, and then we'll watch this. Oh, we're gonna get run over now. Of course, as soon as we're like on the side of the car, someone has to show up. So far, so good. Like that the wheels aren't moving at all on that. Alright, we're gonna get in and we'll reel it back here. So right now we're doing right shift or RB and up on a gamepad. Alright, I think we're good. We are almost at our destination. I kind of like going to the lower level parking garage instead of the top one. The top one gets a little claustrophobic. Unfortunately, this one, the gates don't open automatically. You kind of have to push your way through because, again, GTA. So you have to scrape the heck out of your truck to get back here, or car. Top level is nicer in that regard, but at the same time, when you're kind of unloading, I would like to think this is more of an impound lot than the top is. And I sure as heck not gonna go down that windy road, because this truck would probably bottom out instantly in that. So I don't know how neat we're gonna do this drop here, but we'll maybe straighten out a little bit just so it's at least in the parking spot. After we drop this off, then we'll switch to the 337 flatbed, the Peterbilt. Oh, sounds like it's gonna rain. That does not sound good at all. Better hurry up and do this. Alright, got that unloaded, and actually it was very smooth because they had their doors unlocked. So I appreciate that. I didn't have to break a window or anything savage-like, which is pretty hilarious. Like how none of these cops care at all. Alright, so I think we're going to be done with the MTL Flatbed. We're going to switch over. These people look like they're fine. Again, I don't know the parking laws in this area, but at least they're not in no parking. Oh, great. Waiting for that guy ate up my whole turn. Let's see where this guy's gonna go. Oh, I see my mark right there. No parking. How convenient. All right, we are in the Peterbilt 337 flatbed. My apologies for picking the other MTL flatbed as white. I could have probably picked a different skin. I didn't realize until after the fact that this one is only white. I mean, I could have probably changed the skin if I wanted to, but or change the paint, but did not. Oh, almost pro status this one too. We're like off. I don't think it's gonna, the hit target's gonna do anything. Yeah, it's not. So kind of showing you that you can control it from the right as well. You don't have to be on the left side. You can control it. Again, right bumper down to pull it up. Right bumper up to pull it back. That guy's literally scraping all over the front of my truck. And then with a keyboard, it's left control to roll back, and then to roll forward, it's right shift. A to attach the winch with your gamepad, or if you're using keyboard, it's going to be X. It'll tell you in the top left corner. And it's pretty instantaneous too. So if you even, like I do the keyboard controls for the rollback functionality, but then I use the gamepad for the winch, and you can see how fast it changes. Call me a shitbird. I can't deal with these people. So kind of the one annoying thing about GTA, they like spawn everybody right around your circle. So it's like, there's like no traffic here, and then now there's traffic. All right, we're gonna go back to the Vespucci precinct. After all of that, they're just gonna pass me. Gotta buckle up for safety. I think one of the NPCs are around here.
Listen, man.
Yeah, there he is.
Hey, listen,
The mullet guy, I forgot his name.
man.
Listen, man. Alright, this was, all things considering, a pretty easy pickup as well. And we didn't have to go extremely far. Oh, he's making a left too. Alright, we'll get in front of the bike. Alright, so we are here now. Just try to figure out where the gate is. I can't see it at night. Not very well lit in this area. Don't mind us, we're just kind of pushing forward a little bit, scraping the hell out of our truck. This time we're gonna line up on this parking spot instead of going deeper in. Alright, unbuckle, and then we will drop this. Again, to drop it with a keyboard, left control. To raise it, right shift. To attach or detach the winch, X with the keyboard, or with a controller, gamepad, it is A. And apparently they got their car locked, so we have to break in. Don't mind us, Mr. Officer guy smoking. We're just breaking into this car. And then to control with your gamepad, it's hold right bumper, down to roll back, or as we're gonna do now, roll up. It's gonna be R, D, and up. And that'll be it for this one. Hope you guys like this little more detailed version. This will probably get uploaded a little bit after the full video, but I would appreciate any sort of advice, hints, tips, whatever. If I missed something, let me know. We're still kind of new in the tutorial game, but we'll see you in the next one. Later.